And how to do? Happy Monday, Plug Talk Sports. I'm sorry if you guys didn't think that I was gonna do this. You guys don't know me well enough. I had to do it. It's a great Monday. It's a beautiful Monday, isn't it, Jonka? It's beautiful. Oh, it is beautiful. I know you and I specifically. I mean, I'm happy about what happened yesterday, but I know Jonka specifically is enjoying right now. I'm enjoying it too. Happy Monday, Plug Talk Sports, everybody. Episode 121. My name is Daniel Torres. We got Jonka and we got Brandon in the house. Oh, man, lots to talk about today. I am a happy man. Let's do last week we did good, so we'll do it bad. Brandon, you wanna vent to me your feelings, Brandon? Apparently not. Jonka, yeah, he's not very happy today, folks. He's not, based off of his tweets. He's not very happy. Jonka, you wanna talk to me about something bad?
Bad. Bad. I guess it would have to be like I got a little bit of a cold or like a flu this weekend, so I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I wanted it to.
There he is.
Bro, the internet here, terrible. I can't stand the internet here. Tried doing my laptop, had to go to the phone again for the second week in a row.
Well, Brandon, we were starting off with you with bad news. Is something you wanna get off of your chest? Something you wanna just vent to us about? We're here for you.
Well, I mean, as you know, I've been a long supporter of the Jason Sanders fan club. And the man gets one blocked field goal attempt, and it's like all hell's break loose. I know I'm going to go more into the Dolphins game, just the start of the game. Nothing too crazy, only 2 drives from Tennessee, 3 drives from Miami. So, but definitely a more physical game than I thought. But what I would say, bad news for me, and I know we're going to go into it later on, but it's got to be the in-season tournament. I got a lot of takes from it, a lot of things I want to say about that. But frankly, I saw that Los Angeles is going to be putting up a banner now next to Kobe Bryant and their championships.
Yep.
I mean, as an NBA guy, it doesn't get worse than that.
We'll get into deeper thought and explanation into it.
Yep.
Jonka, I believe you were saying that yours was
I just have a bit of a cold, flu. It's that season, it's that time around the year where you get the little sniffles, you get the chills. It's all right, I'm tough as a bone, So just as long as the Dolphins are losing, it makes me happy.
Oh man. Bad for me. I have nothing bad. I had a beautiful week, and it was even better, beautiful weekend. It really was. It was something to just marvel over, Brandon. It was beautiful. I can't complain. Actually, you know what? There is one thing. I went to my first ever, Brandon, you're going to be very proud of me for this.
Okay.
I went to my first ever Panthers game on Friday.
Hey, okay.
This was not the bad part. This was great. I enjoyed it. It was so fun. I want to go back.
Nice.
The bad part was the beer. I bought a Funky Buddha. It's a local beer, South Florida. $18. $18.
Yeah,
makes
you want to faint at the sight of that thing, man. Yeah, those prices, man. Emirates Bank Stadium or Arena, my bad. It's just not for the faint-hearted. It's not.
Listen,
for the faint-hearted.
My hand giving away my debit card was like this. But then I was like, I really want that beer. Like, it's you gotta have that one beer. It's my first Panthers game. I gotta have the beer. We won. It was great. I enjoyed it. But yes, that was the bad part. Good news. You want to give us some good news, Brandon?
No, yeah. I covered my last game for the publication, The Alligator.
I saw.
And it was in my own backyard of Broward County. Still 25-minute away drive for sunrise, but did the Orange Bowl, saw Obi the Orange, covered a game as close as possible at, besides play-to-play broadcasting, of course, with me and Dan do a lot. That's probably the closest I ever covered a game writing-wise. So it was definitely something to be a part of, awesome to kind of do, especially in a place I used to work in for ticketing. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, cool. Jonka?
Good. I know we might get into it later, but it's gonna have to be my Yankees signing Alex Verdugo from Boston and Juan Soto from the Padres.
Yep.
The Yankees. It could be Yankees Dodgers this season. Well, we expected last season, but hopefully this season now with Ohtani. But I'm excited for baseball now.
Yeah, for sure. For me, man, I got a couple things. It was just a marvelous weekend. Like I said, Columbus wins back-to-back state championships in football. Shout out them. It was great. Solid game. Two of my best friends, they got engaged. We went to a dinner to celebrate them. Victoria and Carlos, shout out to you guys. Love you guys.
Nice.
And then I want to save it. I want to save it for the first topic of the night. I'm just going to save it. Saving the energy. So we'll keep it at that. But yes, let's get to the first topic of the night. NFL football. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for this?
Ready to go.
Yep.
How about them Cowboys, baby? Oh man, I gotta. I'm sorry, Brandon. I gotta do this. My man Brandon here said the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC. Not one offensive touchdown was scored by Jalen Hurts in the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Just a bunch of field goals, and the only touchdown that was scored was on a fumble returned in the end zone. The Philadelphia Eagles are who I said they were since the beginning of this season. They are frauds. I've been saying it since day one. They don't look the same that they did last year. They don't at all. They lost. Well, they got blown out last week by San Francisco. And then this week, they got a punishment by the Dallas Cowboys. And now we're the number 2 seed in the NFC. We take first place in the NFC East. And oh, how good did Dak Prescott look? He looked great. And even more to my conversation that he should be the MVP. He looked fantastic. Oh, it was beautiful. I sat down after a nice glass of wine on a Sunday night, and I saw this beatdown at AT&T Stadium. It was just 3 fumbles and turnovers by the Philadelphia Eagles on offense. They couldn't do anything with the ball. Stephon Gilmore, literally, I love this energy, guys. I love this energy. Walked into the locker room before the game and told Brown, hey, you better lace him up because it's going to be a long night. And Brown literally told him, you're so old. That fired him up, and Gilmore literally destroyed him. Even caused him to fumble. That Cowboys defense was all over the place. Jalen Hurts, all he saw was Micah Parsons all night long. It was fantastic. Oh, I just cannot explain how excited I am that the Cowboys beat the team that I, quite frankly, I hate the most. Cry, Eagles, cry, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I want to see who's going to top that.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, as I mentioned before, especially last week, because I will admit to that, I did say Philadelphia was the team to beat still in the NFC. And mind you, 2-game losing streak now. And I believe they're still number 1 in the NFC. My apologies, in the NFC. But big picture-wise.
Nope,
who's number 1 right now?
San Francisco has taken the top spot.
San Fran? Okay.
Dallas is now number 2.
So Dallas number 2, and I guess that means Philadelphia's number 3. But
nope.
They dropped how many spots?
They're now 5th in the NFC.
5th.
Yep, because the Cowboys took over the division.
Number 4.
I'll tell you right now, the Cowboys took over the division, so now the Eagles are in a wild card spot.
Oh, that's why I was about to say.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's number 4 though. Number 4 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that.
67.
I forgot about the NFC South. That's disgusting.
I know.
And the
Yeah,
Lions.
but I mean, as only 2-game losing streak of the season for Philadelphia, and excuse me. But what I would say, a lot of games left to be played. Cowboys definitely have it right now. It's them and San Fran ahead of the pack. And we're going to have to see how Philadelphia responds. I mean, who knows exactly when do teams peak? When do teams kind of deplete a little bit? Who knows if Philadelphia peaked too early? Who knows if the Cowboys are peaking at the right moment? So, but definitely a statement game, I think, for Dak Prescott, especially for the MVP talks. Me personally, I still don't think he puts him number 1 MVP, but, I mean, he's definitely top 3 at this point.
Jonka, talk to me nice. Give me some sugar, baby. Let's go.
I went on a rant saying that sorry.
It's that flu. It's that flu, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Something's going around, man. I don't know what's going on.
I said last week that the Eagles offense had a problem, and I addressed the problem was Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it nicely. Jalen Hurts needs to stop running the damn ball himself and start passing more, because it just seems like whenever they go down the field, it's because he's either passing it to Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. That's the only way they can go down the field. Maybe some special play where he has to scramble, he'll go for a first down. But overall, the majority of the time, this past Sunday, they couldn't run the ball. So Swift and Gainwell and Boston Scott were getting nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I was like, damn, hey buddy, here's an idea. Throw the damn ball. If you can't run the ball, throw the damn ball. And I think the head coach is struggling with that concept.
Nick Sirianni, don't like that guy very much.
Hey, buddy, like you have stars on the outside, use them. And I think Daniel, you sent me something about AJ Brown had an argument with
Jalen Hurts
in the locker room.
And he called him the B word.
The damn ball, bro.
Called Jalen Hurts a B word.
Just hold the damn ball. He holds the damn ball too much because he wants to be Superman and run it everywhere and fucking Mr. Speedy Gonzalez around the damn field. Bro, like throw the damn ball. I'm gonna keep saying it. Throw the damn ball.
You know what you sounded like right now? You sounded like The Blind Side, where she calls the coach on the cell phone and she goes, "Wrong the dang ball."
Yeah, shout out to Sandra Bullock. But seriously though,
I will say something you texted me early on in the game, and this is not in the offensive part, but in the defensive part. You said if Dallas keeps running the ball like this, Philadelphia is going to get blown out, because Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, they were getting whatever they wanted.
100%.
So it was a big statement win. Brandon, I want to turn it over to you, as it's currently in the third quarter. 8 minutes. It's a 10-10 game between the Miami Dolphins and the 4-8 Tennessee Titans. You have the stage, sir, to vent whatever you're feeling.
Yeah. Before he goes, update. Adam Schefter just put out that Tyreek Hill has just returned from the locker room without his helmet, and his ankle is untaped. So he might not play. Maybe he's gonna wait it out a bit. We don't know. That's all. That just came out right now as we speak.
Yeah, but I mean, for those who have been, to keep everyone up to speed, the Dolphins in the first drive of the game had 3 guys down on the field with a medical team around them. 3 times, mind you. I mean, 2 of them, they were able to come back. Another one of the old lineman, I forgot his name. I do apologize for that. But it's ridiculous. I mean, this is obviously a really physical Tennessee team that came in, wanted to prove a point, and especially in the AFC South, where you have a division that's so physical, you never know who's going to win it out. But this was definitely a Tennessee team where I felt like they were looking for heads. I mean, Jalen Waddle down on the ground, almost a helmet-to-helmet contact with a secondary. And then you have situations where you have Tyreek Hill, which I have to say, no idea what he was trying to do to extend the play there.
Yeah.
He basically caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage by like 6 yards and decided to go all around by 8. But what happened was he got tackled, rolled around his left ankle. I don't think it's anything as it's serious. However, I would not, even as questionable, I don't want him returning in this game. Think season, think long term. No matter if you need a win or not this week. But what I would say from the game overall, because I do know that Jonka did mention this throughout the past few weeks about what does the Dolphins' offense look like without Tyreek Hill. A lot of it, Jalen Waddle, a lot of it, Raheem Mostert, A-Chain, and unfortunately, the Dolphins did move away from basically running the ball down in the past few possessions. Unfortunately, I don't have any knowledge of the second half, though I don't have a TV in front of me. But from what I do know, though, it is definitely a different offense, especially with the pass rush of Tennessee getting at Tua. Only 2 sacks so far from my knowledge of the game, but obviously it is going to keep Tua, on hands, going back and forth, having to do more work to kind of extend things. So from the Dolphins' standpoint, injuries are starting to pile on. Tennessee, much more physical than I thought they were, even blocking a field goal attempt from the great Jason Sanders. I think Jason got back on the field in the second half too. I saw a field goal there.
Yes.
So we're still running the mode of the agenda. One day MVP, Jason Sanders. But as I mentioned before, physical Tennessee team, they came to play. Hey, what is it? Levis, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Levis.
I was just thinking about the same thing.
Oh my gosh, man! Like again, I clown him a lot. You know what I mean? SEC guy from Kentucky puts mayo in his own coffee. He's a dog, man. Put the shoulder.
I'm not gonna lie with you. He's not looking bad.
He's not looking bad at all, man. And again, that quarterback room with Tannehill out right now, it's very competitive. And Levis is like, he's telling D-Hop, like, oh, get on the line. You should be doing this. D-Hop, out of all the veterans on the team, like, it's probably something I haven't seen out of a first year, second year, whatever you want to call it, guy, where it's like you don't have a lot of experience as a starter in the NFL. He's already built that in. So far, a good game. Dolphins, unfortunately, injuries have definitely held them back. But, Tua is definitely going to have to respond here. Without Tyreek going to be playing, hopefully Tyreek doesn't return in this game. Tua is definitely going to have to answer back on the offense and the defense. Again, it's just that one drive that took like 8 minutes for Tennessee to score a touchdown. The offense just going to have to answer back without him.
Yeah, speaking about injuries, Deshaun Elliott is an injury update for the Dolphins. Deshaun Elliott is questionable. His ribs, they're being evaluated. So his ribs, and then he's also being evaluated in the concussion protocol. Tyreek Hill doesn't look like he's coming back, and then now Connor Williams out, and they're kind of saying they don't think they'll get Connor Williams back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and then
it's a big blow.
It's like Armstead, it's Phillips, it's a whole lot of guys, man. For Miami,
Holland,
the way their season's looking like, it'll be a shame if injuries was really the boiling point at the end of the year.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not going to criticize you and the Dolphins for tonight because I feel like every NFL team drops that one game that you are literally predicted to win and you fall to a crap team. Happened to me, against the Arizona Cardinals. The Titans, they're 4-8, but they're playing hard. Like, they came to play. They came ready to play. And I think that's just the beauty of the NFL, to be honest, is that every Sunday or every Monday or Thursday, it's a hard game.
Yeah.
It is hard to win in the NFL. So, credit to the Tennessee Titans right now. They're trying. It's a tie game, but they're playing hard. They're trying out there. So, for the Dolphins, yes, this should be a game that you should win. There's still a chance for them to win, but it's much closer than I think Dolphins fans and many across the NFL would have anticipated. So I'm not going to rank on the Dolphins today just because I understand that factor. But Jonka, you got anything?
Adam Schefter tweets again now. Now, despite his ankle injury, Tyreek is back on the field.
Okay.
Boy, they're playing with fire, dog. One little tweak.
Please be okay. Oh my God, man.
Like, listen, I understand it's happened to me, happened to my Patriots, happened to you, happened to everybody.
Yeah.
But listen. I've said it and I'll say it again. Tua without Tyreek is average to below average because
Look,
he got nothing on nothing, dog.
look,
I
the
swear.
quarterback bad is just
What happened with Tyreek? He hasn't done anything with Tyreek today when he was on the field. And now with him on the field, he's still gonna do nothing. I'm telling you this, bro. When Tyreek decides to retire, I don't want to hear anybody tell me no, yeah, Tua looks trash now, bro. Like, why didn't we see this before?
Yeah, but Tua wasn't like, again, he had big games before Tyreek even entered Miami, you know? But what I would say,
Who saved us? Who
I
saved
feel
his
like
butt?
too.
Ryan
But
Fitzmagic saved Tua so many times because Tua was not doing his business.
I'm not gonna hold you back on that. I love Fitzmagic. Like,
Fitzmagic is my
I
guy.
can't hold you back on that. The guy was like a different wizard. He was a different cloth. But what I would say, because again, I was also talking about earlier with Dak Prescott, the MVP talk. Like, I hate to use like single samples as a perfect use for evidence, but if the first half of this Dolphins game doesn't give you an idea of the reasons why Tyreek Hill should be an MVP this season, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it doesn't always have to be a quarterback, and I don't know when was the last wide receiver to win the award, but it's got to be like Tyreek or McCaffrey, Dak Prescott maybe at third, or bust. I can't imagine another option really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but speaking of which, because I don't know if you wanted to do this the next event, but the Patrick Mahomes stuff.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys want to talk about that, but I got a whole.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
For those who don't know, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, in what usually is kind of like the game of the night, the game of the year, Bills against Chiefs. In the last possession of that game, he has an opportunity to win the game, down 20-17 against Buffalo. Gave it off to Travis Kelce, who passes his hands off to Kadarius Toney. And apparently Toney, beforehand of this play, was offside. They didn't call it at the time. Toney goes in for a touchdown. Whistles goes flying. And they're like, offsides, offense, Toney. Hot mic, dabbing up Allen. Worst call ever. Can't believe the call. This and that, explicit. With Taylor Swift in the building, mind you. Like, I don't care who you are or what you say, but what
you don't curse in front of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you don't curse in front of Taylor. Not in front of Tay-Tay. Come on now. The Swifties are acting up. They're acting up. For good reason, though. You know what he said, Patrick Mahomes, in his press conference after?
I heard.
Not only does it affect the game and the outcome, but also the Hall of Fame career of Travis Kelce.
What does it have to do with anything?
Like, what is that? Exactly. What does that have to do with anything? It's like, again, I understand the whole, the referees bail him out sometimes here and there, but that's like, you're putting things on a white wall, man.
Like, that's like saying, look, because I'm a human and I need food to eat, I should get food for free.
Right? Like, it's just weird. I don't know. He's like a big me right now.
I've seen all the stuff, and I just think like he's really overreacting and taking this a bit out of proportion. And it's good to be passionate about the game. I think for the three of us, probably, we've played sports in our lives and we watch sports. We get passionate. Sometimes we get heated. But it's not a good look to behave the way that he did. Especially, I think what was really distasteful is, the post-game handshake when he goes up to Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't say anything. Josh Allen just goes to shake his hand, and then he continues to, say stuff about the call to Josh Allen, and Josh Allen didn't really say anything. He was just kind of like, all right, and just went on his way. And to be honest, I just think it made Patrick Mahomes look like a sore loser. And a lot of people are now really disliking Patrick Mahomes and his attitude.
Yeah. No, I mean, totally agree, though. And maybe he does act a little bit different if the Broncos weren't on such a hot streak to overcome and maybe even take the division. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, man. Like, in a way that he was painted before this game, and then for him to like come out like that with referees, he's just asking for media attention.
Yeah, and I think after watching, I don't know if you finished it completely, Brandon. But after watching QB1, was it QB1? Yeah, I think so. On Netflix, out of the three guys that they had, Mariota, Cousins, and Mahomes. Mahomes was the guy I liked the least. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was number one. And then number two was Mariota. Because the thing is that Mariota and Cousins, they just look like two genuine dudes that were just humble and just love playing football. And Mahomes was more of like, he's kind of gotten a little bit to his head, the fame that he's gotten. And he acts like a little bit like a diva. And he doesn't really act humble. So I personally didn't like that. It didn't come across good. And then seeing what happened yesterday, it was bad. And especially in you were saying, Brandon, in the post-game conference where he said it's just not a good look for him.
Not at all. Not at all.
Jonka, weigh in. I know you got something to say about this.
Hey, listen, I've been saying this since last year that the refs basically carried the Chiefs into the Super Bowl with that bogus ass call. Excuse my language, but it was bogus against the Bengals, replaying that third down when the kicking team was already on the field getting ready to kick the ball. Make it make sense? I'll leave that for later. But now, when Patrick Mahomes feeling the pressure from the Broncos and from the rest of the AFC, who's getting better, now he has to keep winning these games with an average receiving core and Travis Kelce getting doubled or tripled on every play. And these defensive lines are getting better every season. And Mahomes is taking way more of a beating this year. I'm telling you, he's feeling the pressure. It's getting to his head. And he's trying to use the refs as a scapegoat for him playing bad. That's what it is. He wants to be carried by the refs again. Because let's say he fights the refs and they do make that call and they reverse it and he gets one more chance at it. You don't think the Bills will be furious?
Yeah.
Because clearly Kadarius Toney, luckily funny is it's a UF grad, but
I don't see how you can justify this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let alone it's not only Toney, but it's also a guy on the right side too, as well in the O-line.
Bro, it's ridiculous. Like you can't refute that.
Like that's not even close. Like look how far up he is. Like he's basically playing defense at that point.
Yeah.
Bro, like he can handshake the guy right next to him.
Go on, Jonka.
I think Patrick Mahomes is trying to use the refs as a scapegoat we're playing terrible this season. Yes, they have a really good record, but the majority of those games have been very close and have been worked out with the refs at late of the game. But yeah, like no, the Chiefs, Mahomes, listen, just calm the hell down. It's a loss. You got a loss. It's okay. You can lose once in a while, buddy. Relax. Yeah, that's he triggers me sometimes because of what happened the last season against the Bengals. It still triggers me till this day. But you guys can go. You guys go before I lose a cap.
Listen, I want to bring this up. I want to see what you guys think about this. This was tweeted by Front Office Sports. NFL owners are set to vote on requiring all 32 teams to play one international home game outside the U.S. every 4 years. What do you guys think about that?
I love it. I mean, again, we're talking about a game like American football that has a big fan base already outside of the States. Excuse me. So what are those games we played in Mexico? I mean, I know they're going to be doing more games in Germany and, of course, London. Maybe you go find yourself something in Denmark. Maybe you go find yourself something in Paris. Maybe even go, across to another continent, whether that be Asia or Africa or whatnot. I mean, I really do believe in, exposing the game to really everybody that was interested in it, and that includes the world. So I love the idea. Definitely is going to not be go with scheduling and traffic and, how to build that in. But, I mean, at least it means the Jaguars can't be playing 2 to 3 international games every season. But yeah, I think it's good.
Jonka?
I like it, but I would like to see more of a variety of destinations, of different locations. I would like to see Australia because they have a big rugby fan base over there. I would assume with the comparisons with American football, they would enjoy it. I would like to see maybe Russia, maybe see Japan. I don't know.
They're definitely not going. They're definitely not going to Russia. I'll tell you that.
Well, something. Saudi Arabia and Dubai. That would be crazy. In those new stadiums for the World Cup, that would have been super nice to go to. I don't know, Spain, Italy, France. Like go around Europe, go around South America, Africa, bro. Like try these different places. Maybe they'll take up on a team. Who knows? I don't know. Something like, but like just consistently going to the same places. It doesn't. I don't know. To me, I like new places. I like to see something new. So That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like this. I think it's time for the NFL market to expand and people outside of this country kind of understand what American football is, and they can kind of get, excited over it. Because think about it, behind soccer, we all know soccer is the world's game. Behind soccer, who has the biggest platform in sports? Would you say it's, I would say it's probably between NBA and NFL.
I know cricket is like really big.
I think internationally people follow more NBA than NFL, but that's because NBA has broadened its horizons of the game of basketball to around the world. NFL, yeah, they've had games, only one game or two games a year internationally. But if you start to expand that, I think you can start to reach those global audiences. I think the Super Bowl is a much bigger event than the NBA Finals. I think if you expand globally, the Super Bowl can become even bigger than what it is already. And just the things maybe you can even make a Super Bowl international. Put a Super Bowl in a different place.
Bro,
I think we're getting a little too far. I think we're getting a little too ahead.
Hey, man, a Super Bowl at Wembley Stadium in London? Sounds nice.
I don't know if I want to wake up at 9 a.m. for a Super Bowl.
Hey, man, get them wings cooking at 8 a.m., baby.
Like maybe a regular season game at 7 a.m. on week 14, but
all-nighter.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if Americans are willing to wake up at 4, 3, 5 in the morning to watch a royal wedding, they definitely will get up that early for a Super Bowl.
It's possible.
It is possible.
The only backlash that would happen with a Super Bowl in a different country would be the fans, because like you're not really thinking about the fans. That majority is in the United States, and you're making them travel outside their country just to watch the one game they've been waiting for all year.
Yeah, yeah, that's understandable. It was just an idea, guys. Don't take it so literal. It was just an idea. It was trying to help the international cause, the international community of American football. But let's switch gears here. This is also why I'm a happy man. Shohei Ohtani has decided to move across the city and join my Los Angeles Dodgers on a 10-year contract worth $700 million. The most expensive contract in Major League Baseball history. It is a contract that's more expensive than any NBA player has ever made. And in comparison, Ohtani is getting more money from the Dodgers than the entire Marlins franchise. Ohtani is literally going to pair nicely, I think, with the Dodgers. When you look at the players that they have, and I'll go over their roster right now. They got Austin Barnes, Will Smith, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. They got Kike Hernandez back last year. Gavin Lux, Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Jason Hayward, James Outman, and now they got Shohei Ohtani. He's now in that DH role, and that DH role last year was filled by JD Martinez, who they picked up from the Red Sox. But now you got Ohtani. Man, I think he just wanted to stay in LA, and obviously the Dodgers got money and showed him the bag of cash and said, hey, I get to stay in LA. I join a competitive team. Doesn't bother me. So, but you know what? Jonka had talked about this. Jonka had told me, maybe the Yankees can go in for Ohtani, which they definitely could. And I'm sure they made an offer over winter, probably, whatever. But listen, I think once I got that notification that they had signed Juan Soto from the Padres, that's when I kind of thought, well, if they're getting Juan Soto and they're giving the bag to Juan Soto, they're probably not getting Ohtani.
They could still if they want to blow up the bag, but
yeah, but the Yankees are not going to do that. They're going to want to keep pieces together. You would probably have to get rid of Aaron Judge and Carlos Stanton together to get Shohei Ohtani. But I think the Dodgers will enter next year with a competitive team. I mean, they won the World Series in 2020. Problem with the Dodgers still is pitching, and I think
same for the Yankees.
When they go into the postseason, the Dodgers continue to dominate the National League West division, and then when they get into the postseason, they kind of choke a little bit, and it's due to the pitching. Hopefully, Ohtani can sort of, turn that around, but they still need pitching. I mean, I think Clayton Kershaw is a legend of the game, but his best days are way behind him. I think he's getting close to that moment where it's time to hang it up. This is a beautiful addition for the Dodgers.
I mean, it's definitely a good addition, but I think, honestly, whenever especially just the opening, $700 million, right? Doesn't matter how many years, doesn't matter whatever it is, it's still $700 million. Now, I know that according to the contract, there's apparently going to give at least $2 million annually, and didn't have that $680 million go off to him in his last contract or whatever in 2033. But I mean, can this get any higher? I mean, we're seeing gradually NBA contracts get more expensive, and then now this with baseball, it's what's next? The player's going to get $1 billion
and a house.
In a house or a franchise in Vegas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, Ohtani, big ticket guy. I know we were talking a lot about him throughout the entire offseason for baseball. So definitely he did find a home, especially with the Dodgers. Staying, as I mentioned before about Giannis staying with Milwaukee, he's staying in a city where he's used to, in a sense, used to living in America. But it's definitely at least contract wise, because I understand baseball has big time contracts.
Yeah.
But it's a head scratcher. No man is worth $700 million. No man is worth $700 million, especially with their MLB career being as short as Ohtani, and as well, not a lot of playoff experience, not a lot of things going on besides the fact he's, a unicorn guy, has won on the international level. And I hate to claim him almost like he's like Messi or whatever, but has won on the international level more than a lot of other players who are already succeeding in MLB. But I mean, I'm more curious about what's going to happen in the next 10 years when his contract's done. Are we going to see bigger contracts? Are we going to see the Dodgers basically, dominate now with Ohtani there, and maybe they even come back and bring in another big guy? Who knows? But
Brandon, I just want to tell you that I think you're worth $700 million.
You got me choked up with that.
You're welcome. I'll sell you the $20 later.
Pay me 20 now, then when I'm 101, give me the 700 mil. I'll wait.
Now, actually, before you go, this was a report that I read today as well. Shohei Ohtani, and this just goes to show you the type of guy he is. Shohei Ohtani will defer $68 million per year of his $70 million annual salary over the course of his 10 years, $700 million with the Dodgers, allowing the team to be able to keep spending. So he's basically saying, all right, I'll take a little bit less so you guys can go and get more pieces. Hey, that sounds like a standout guy to me if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because other people would be like, hell no, I'm taking my money. Every cent of it. All these taxes in California?
Yep.
All right, Jacob, you're up.
You know, it was months ago. We were on this podcast. We were talking about where is he going to be? Where is Otani going to go? And it was and me, Daniel, and Brandon. We were all just like, yeah, it's probably going to be either the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets or any team that has legit money. And lo and behold, it's the Dodgers. They're a good team. Now with the deferring of the money, they have a chance to continue to get players, which is a great idea, by the way. They do have a problem with the pitching. I agree. So do my Yankees.
Yep.
But as for pitching goes, I know my Yankees right now they're trying to get Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's a teammate of Otani's on the Japan team, and the Yankees are trying to bring back Masanata Tanaka to go with Yamamoto to bring him to play in New York, which would bring him two distinguished pitchers. Would be a good team for the Yankees because they lack in pitching. But overall, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Yamamoto would be a great addition. But the thing is, I am telling you right now, and I can't explain this enough. If Giancarlo Stanton can stay healthy and have a good season, this team will go far. Because I feel like Aaron Judge every season, he's the reason that the Yankees are winning. And then whenever he's playing, Giancarlo is not playing. And it kind of hurts him a little bit offensively because maybe he can get you an extra home run, a couple extra runs, a couple extra hits that you need to win the game. And, we saw that this year with the Marlins with Luis Arias. He was getting those hits that the Marlins weren't getting the year before. And the Marlins did improve. So I'm expecting Giancarlo Stanton to have a really good season this year. I hope, because if not, the Yankees better get rid of him, please.
I'm kind of over Giancarlo Stanton, man. Like,
listen, I'm giving him one more year. One more year. If he doesn't provide, I'm going to say this: if he doesn't at least give me 30 home runs this season, get rid of him. Get rid of him.
So,
sign him somewhere else. Get some trading value. Something.
So we had to give the Dodgers. By the way, they re-signed Joe Kelly, a pitcher. Mm-hmm. If you guys had to give the Dodgers a letter grade, what would you give them? I give them an A+. Jonko, what would you give the Dodgers?
A.
Brandon?
Yeah, A as well.
Okay, I think we can settle that debate there and move on to the next topic. Brandon, the stage is yours. We all know the Los Angeles Lakers have won the inaugural in-season tournament with LeBron James getting the MVP award. And as we talked earlier, we know that they're going to put up a banner at the crypto.com arena. When I read that, I was like, that is so lame. So, yeah. Brandon, the stage is yours to talk all about this in-season tournament and the Lakers championship.
Well, I got 5 takes, all in the semifinals and final.
Go for it.
So, and again, I know we don't have much time on the topic, so I'm just going to go straight to the quick facts, the PTI segment. 1, Tyrese Halliburton is a top 3 guard in the NBA right now. From what we've seen against Milwaukee and the way he performed, I mean, that's probably the best performance I've seen from a guard all season. Overall,
Brandon, you can say it. Guarantee
he will be a first-team All-NBA player playing at this level. And again, I know it's only December, but again, he will be. 2, Adrian Griffin was not the right move for Milwaukee. I mean, the guy is based in the huddle, and everyone's saying, oh, this is what Giannis wanted. This is the Giannis hire. Giannis is like outside on the scores table. Maybe his brother comes around to talk to him, but he's not in the huddle. He's not communicating with his guys in Milwaukee. So it's weird because they always have like an on and off game. And I think it's because of the spacing with Giannis and Damian Lillard. You're not going to have like both of those guys always giving you 60 together combined, or, one having a good game, the other one having a bad game. But there is some things off with Milwaukee. And again, that's scary to say because they're still one of the better teams in the East, let alone the NBA. Number 3, Zion Williamson. The hate is real. The hate is real. People in the media, and I think the cool thing about the in-season tournament is about, the publicity about it and also the eye of the public nationally. people who don't really see a lot of National Pelicans game nationally saw a 300-something pound Zion Williamson walk around like he was ready to go to the line of scrimmage to block Tua. This guy's huge. The conditioning's unreal. I mean, I thought for a second there he was like doing his entire offseason last season in Portland, getting himself in the best shape he could. It's like he's eating jumbo. And the crazy thing about it, on First Take earlier this morning, Stephen A. Smith was talking about, sources from New Orleans and the restaurants. And again, he quoted somebody else that quoted, they love Zion because he would eat the table. It's ridiculous. There's also reports that say that the Pelicans who have made, attempts to tell Zion and, basically help them out, that Zion is refusing to take any help on his dieting, on his overall training. He's not taking it serious. And again, as I mentioned with Halliburton, when you see a guy like that or John Morant or like any other player in the NBA that's, in your draft class or near your same age, and you see them working and outworking you, like how is that not a fire under you? And especially for Zion, I mean, on your own team, Brandon Ingram. Like, there's two different Pelicans teams. It's the fun Pelican team where you have Murphy, Jones, and Alvarado and Brandon Ingram, going back and forth, super fast pace. And then you have the Pelicans team where you have Zion just really being the anchor for their offense. And that's the main reason why they got blown out by the Lakers. And take 4, LeBron is LeBron. No changing in that. No Anthony Davis was a big part. Cam Reddish, who did not play a single bit of minutes really in New York, has become this defensive D3 guy without the three-pointer. Kind of weird to say that, but that's the truth. And then the final thing, just to top it all off, the banner is stupid. The banner is the dumbest thing. If they put a damn in-season NBA tournament banner by the end of December for the Los Angeles Lakers in that historic building, and again, not the same building like the Forum, but it's really going to change how the NBA is going to be viewed by people. And, the fans have said, in-season tournament was a success, playoff energy in December. I'm going to let you know right now, if you have NBA League Pass, you might find a game like that in a random Wednesday. Kid you not. The Celtics-Indiana game that they had to see who will go to be the Final Four for Vegas. I mean, that was a hell of a game. That last 2.5-minute run by Indiana, incredible. But I kid you not, that happens sometimes throughout the NBA. You don't need an in-season tournament. You don't need a new crazy court.
I agree.
But publicity-wise, and then also, the in-season tournament, the way that it's like lined up in the group play, I mean, it's really disgraceful to the game. You got people trying to outscore blowouts because of the point differential. It's absurd. It's absurd, So I don't know if it's good for the game of basketball. I think it's good for the game of television and broadcasting.
Yeah.
TV deals. But frankly, it's I mean, seeing LeBron pop champagne in December is a little ridiculous.
It's weird, man. It's definitely weird. I'm still not a fan of the in-season tournament. It's just, why can't we just keep the main goal of winning a title? Why can't we just keep that the same main goal, like, and focus? Like, why we got to have all this now? And just, again, the whole thing with the banner, it's stupid. It is really
like a month and a half in the NBA season, basically 2 months in the NBA season.
I feel, for me, the way I feel, and I look at it, like, you are defeating the purpose of chasing an NBA title. It's just stupid.
It
John?
is.
Listen, I've said this before. When this tournament was announced, I told you guys this tournament was made for LeBron to win it and be the first person to win the damn thing. I called it. You remember, Brandon? Don't think I don't remember. I told both of you. This is fixed. It's fixed, and it's gonna be used in the argument. Oh, because LeBron has the first ever in-season tournament, and MJ doesn't. That puts one on MJ. Oh, really? I'm telling you, bro. You can't doubt me. I'm the smartest ever, bro. I see it. I see it.
The vision's different.
And then addressing the Zion thing. I agree that he needs to get his weight checked a little bit. But at the same thing, this is tonight. 36 points, season high, 5 rebounds. He was 13 for 17 from field goal range. Bro, Hey, if that's a problem, buddy. Listen, let's keep him in check and not let him lose any more weight before he's gonna be fucking like dunking from the 3-point line. Okay,
Jonka, he heard the comments. He heard the trash talk, man.
Oh no, he heard it. He heard it. He out there, bro.
Listen, the media can be cruel, man. Just to go and start attacking the man's weight. The media can be cruel, and I actually heard someone say, I forgot who it was, but that heat culture would serve him well, and the heat would get him into shape. And look how overweight Kyle Lowry was, and how in shape the Heat got Kyle Lowry, and that they would work on Zion. Man, the media is, I'm telling you, they're brutal. They are brutal. And let me tell you, after the in-season tournament, like after in like the ceremony, Malika Andrews got booed bad. She really did. The crowd really, she is not a liked person anymore around the NBA.
Me neither. The one thing I would say about Zion is that we've never seen a player like Zion ever. You can compare him to LeBron, but LeBron, when he came in, he was scrawny, he was tall, skinny.
High school kid.
Yeah, like a regular high school kid. But Zion, he's a freak of nature, a legitimately freak of nature.
Yeah.
We've never seen a player like him. So when you have a really, really special player with a very unique body type, like how do you address how to handle him? Because he's been like that all of his life. And then you're telling him to lose the weight. But then like the way he plays is because he's so explosive and he uses that big body to get through people and muscle people out.
Oh, of course.
So it's like it's very tough to like definitively say if that the weight is the problem. Maybe I don't know what it is.
Because Jonka, I understand the point you're making there. Like again, he has skill still. Like the weight doesn't limit his skill, but it's like we're talking about a guy that's going to be 300-something pounds. I mean, the best example I would probably say is like Charles Barkley in his season. If he didn't take it serious, there would have been a lot of injuries. Like Zion at his size and already early in his career having injury issues, and a lot of it being because of joints and his weight while playing like heavy minutes on the court. I mean, again, like he's obviously a totally different, body type and player than what he was his first 2 years in the NBA. I mean, either way, skill not. It's about consistency. It's about does he want to stay committed to a team and also work towards that. So, and honestly, I've been hearing reports about maybe the Pelicans are starting to look for a trade. As crazy as that sounds.
I would have to agree.
Jonka, what do you think? Last thing on this topic, what do you think about the banner going up?
Listen, it's all a gimmick, bro. It's a gimmick. The Lakers haven't had anything with that bogus 2020 finals against the Heat. First of all, it was in a bubble with no traveling, no audience, no nothing, right? Bam and Dragic go out down and they lose. I will defend it with my life. The Heat would have won that one. Second of all, they haven't accomplished anything. They've been first and second round exits ever since. Now all of a sudden, now with the Lakers looking like they're nobodies, right? They go and they lose in the Western Conference Finals to the Nuggets badly, get swept. And now they start this with this in-season tournament coming out of nowhere saying, oh, we need to make the NBA more intense or more competitive. Adam Silver, have you not been noticing the league has been getting way more competitive? Little by little, like buddy. Have you not seen the skills now, bro? Like the Timberwolves are competing for the first seed. The Nuggets, with Jokic being the champions, Anthony Davis being on and off, bro. Like the Suns with KD, Beal, and Booker, Steph Curry doing what he's doing. The Pelicans with Zion, bro. Like, what do you mean competitive? I don't understand. Do you have problems? Listen, that the Lakers just want to do their own show. Let them do their own show. They're not making anything this season, so if they want to put the banner up, they can put their banner up. But as of right now, they're just being a bunch of like pricks. They're being a bunch of pricks.
Your opinion has been heard and shared. Guys, the MLS Cup final was this past weekend. It was on Saturday. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like it is not what I expected at all.
Nope.
In the final, my bracket, I had the Seattle Sounders against FC Cincinnati, which I was close. Both of those teams went to the semifinals. FC Cincinnati crapped the bed. As per usual, MLS teams that do so good in the regular season, they really never end up winning. Columbus Crew really came out of nowhere. The final was at their house. They beat LAFC 2-1. They get their third franchise title. I believe they're now the third team with the most MLS titles in league history. And LAFC, 3 finals this year, and they lost all 3. There's not much more to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Columbus win is definitely a big one, especially for the franchise, because not only were we talking about, as I mentioned before, adding on a third one, this was also the first one ever for a black head coach in the MLS's history. So definitely big for the game itself. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, compared to seasons before, I think viewership for the MLS and the playoffs and as well the MLS Cup just kind of like dipped down a little bit. I mean, media coverage, there wasn't a lot of it. Yeah, so it's – and again – all credit to the Columbus Crew. They played a fantastic season, fantastic way to end off the season. And, I mean, they had a lot of great stories as well. I forgot who the Columbus native is, but the one young man that stayed on the pitch almost 2 hours after the celebration in the pouring rain. So there's a lot of great stories there, but I just felt like, I don't know, with the whole Messi thing, and I know, again, South Florida podcast, but, with the whole Messi thing and everything, I mean, the moment they didn't make the playoffs, it's almost like everything kind of just faded away. With the Apple TV, it kind of faded away, with viewership and attention to this. I mean, to be frank, I didn't realize we were at the final until about a week ago for the MLS Cup.
There was a lot of big breaks in it. It really was.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's definitely one thing I would say that, and I understand it's, the first season with the format of Apple TV, Messi and all that, but make the playoffs public. Give it Fox. Give it ESPN, ABC. There should be reason why people should be watching these games and are not allowing them to watch these games.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I have nothing to say about that. I agree with that. Jonka, Columbus over LAFC?
Hey, I thought LAFC was going to win it and go back-to-back, but I actually had, I think, the Houston Dynamo and the Philadelphia Union.
Houston had a very good season.
Yeah.
And I had Philadelphia finally winning it, but it didn't turn out that way. Shout out to Columbus. They did their thing. They won it. They did what they had to do. They got the dub. But hey, all I gotta say is hopefully this coming year Inter Miami can fix their problems and maybe win it that next year. It's tough. It's just tough. Like,
Yeah.
I had Columbus Crew losing to Orlando City in the first round.
Yeah.
So I did not expect this at all. At all.
Either.
I really did. I'm being honest with you guys. I did not expect it. But hey, you shocked the world, and good luck. Enjoy your celebration, and Inter Miami's coming for you. So
we'll see about that. And without further ado, that's going to conclude episode 121 of the Plug Talk Sports live show. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, week out, showing us love. Of course, stay tuned for all of your sports needs and updates on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Again, really appreciate you guys and your support. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week and have a great night.